Hi, Bo. Relax. Go to Carpet and Deco. They stock carpets, rugs, vinyl, wooden and bamboo floors, blinds, wallpaper, and they do installation as well.
Carpet and Deco? What's the number?
Easy. 015-292-2219 for your Mahala quotation. Carpet and Deco, your home improvement store.
88.9. Welcome to the People's Station. One Nation FM.
AM Karim Attorneys, over 25 years experience. We assist with all legal matters including property transfers, estates, wills, commercial law, property law, labor law, CCMA representation, marriage contracts, divorce and general legal matters. Corner Vet Club and Doornkral Street, Ladana.
Call AM Karim Attorneys on 015-293-1666. That's 015-293-1666.
Are you looking?
Capital city of Limpopo. This is One Nation FM on 88.9. 88.9. Welcome to the People's Station. One Nation FM.
All right. Good evening, Polokwane, and welcome to tonight's edition of The Robust View with myself, Isaac Wagamuselani, right here on One Nation 88.9 FM, the only talk radio station in Polokwane, bringing you the show live from the tallest building in the province. And I will be with you up until 6:30. It feels like a long time I've been here. All right. So tonight on the show, we are going to, without fear or favor, discuss the whole John Easthuizen debacle. The real issues are going to be discussed tonight, not what most media houses and platforms have been shifted into. So I'm going to touch on what the real issues are. I will explain what the real issues are, and we'll try to talk about what other people are trying to divert the real conversation. We need to talk about what happened. We can't not debate it. You know, we can't just not get different opinions on what the real issues are. We can't do it. Those who don't know who John Easthuizen is, he's a tall white man, DA, member of parliament and chief whip of the whole official opposition who didn't finish matric or any other NQF level 4s. The debate is not whether or not you need a qualification or you need qualifications to do certain jobs. That would be a stupid debate. But guess what? That is the actual debate that has been going around during the whole week. And that's why it's a bit shocking, because that's not the real debate. But that's what the debate was all about. And that's what we're going to discuss on tonight's show. Of course, you need a degree to be a medical doctor or a lawyer or any other sophisticated profession. Of course, I haven't forgotten the accountants. Hello, accountants. You also need a degree and CTA if you're going to be balancing books and so on and so forth. But as we know, you don't need a degree to become a president of this particular country or president of any political party. Surely it shouldn't be an issue that you need a degree to be a chief whip. So that's why I'm saying that's not a real issue. This is not the issue, because you see a lot of defenders of John coming out and saying, John is a remarkable person. You know, he's a great politician. I've learned a lot from him. But nobody's disagreeing with you. That is not an issue. But having the president and people in parliament with no degrees or education whatsoever, it does really say a lot about the kinds of people who are in charge of making laws in the country. It does also say a lot about how and why our economy has been shouting the passenger and touche. There are more than 10 South African ambassadors to other countries who can make better executive than what we're seeing right now or what we're given. But that's not today's topic, right? That's a topic for another day. The problem, and this is what we will be talking about tonight, is the double standards by the DA, which eventually became white privileged defense force, which they continue to display with no remorse. The DA has always been a political party that claimed to be academic connoisseurs. even the man in question has been seen ridiculing the former president of the country, Jacob Zuma, the CIC of the EFF, and Claude Mutsueneng, yet he has no matric. But is it being born white, come with an undergrad degree, that you feel it's necessary for you to call out people for things that you don't have? Because this is a bit weird. While the likes of Jacob Zuma had apartheid to deal with, John had no excuse. He had the land, the resources, laws, family, and still couldn't pass standard 10. Like, even when the education system was biased towards him, it still couldn't recognize him as a Solanka white person. Let me leave it here. Lastly on the show, when we finish the show, we finish the show with a topic regarding the media and the truth. You realize with everything that is happening in the country that the truth is the narrative you wish to believe to be true, and not that there are facts which are supported by factual evidence linking the premise to the conclusion. So it's important to have some engagement regarding the relationship between the truth and the media. And of course, all this have to do with the interest of the consumer, that is you who's listening. So you listen to One Nation FM and you feel One Nation FM, is whatever they're saying, I believe it. So they don't have to prove it to me. I believe it. And we're going to discuss these actual truths and many more. So I have a new guest on the show to talk about this. So stick around and enjoy. But most importantly, feel free to join in the conversation by sending us your WhatsApp text on 0720817974. That's 0720817974. Or call us on 011-880-2434. That's 011-880-2434. Chat to us about your input about what we'll be talking about regarding also including John Esthuizen's issue. All right. With politicians pressing charges without arrest or prima facie evidence or proof, and Banyana qualifying for the World Cup for the first time, and 2018 just being about relationships breaking up left, right, and center, Black Friday turned out to be a sunshine for many working people. But I hope you spend well, especially on needs. We're going for an ad break, and when we come back, we start with our robust views right here on One Nation on 88.9 FM.
Kids these days are smart, and when you're competing for their attention against their smartphones, you need to make smart choices, like using Sunfoil triple refined pure sunflower oil in every meal you make. It's naturally cholesterol-free and approved by the Heart and Stroke Foundation as part of a balanced eating plan. So whether you're cooking, frying, or baking, you get the great tasting results that'll get their attention faster than the latest app. And if that doesn't work, change the Wi-Fi password. Sunfoil. Now we're cooking.
Ke nako yela ya ngwaga ya go reka ka bontši go itukišetša Christmas lena di society di club di stokfele le mang kapa mang e tlang A1 Supermarket Divini Street Polokwane di praise tša rena e sale tšone tšela tša mehleng thieletšang molaetša wa bohlokwa show A1 Supermarket e ka se ye felo ebile e ka se tsoge e tswaletšwe mabarebare ao le a kulego a gore A1 ya tswalelwa ke maka a matalatala setšhaba lokologang le reke ka go iketla A1 Supermarket ga e felo re tla le nkela ka botshepegi metla yotlhe A1 Supermarket corner Divination Jubet Street mo Polokwane. Simply the best.
Also go botse jwang go dula o tseba gore o ka ya lebenkeleng la gago la go tshepega kudu ge o nyaka dilo ka moka tša technology e ya Alsal Polokwane ka gare ga toropo go bona dilo tša mabonwa tša go akaretša di-computer, di-printera, di-scannera tša go ntšha moya wa go tonya le wa borutho ke ra di-air conditioning dilwana ka moka tša IT le di-cartridges re rekiša le mekgobokgobo ya di-airtime re eteleng ko number 16 Re6 Street shop number 2 or le ka re founela go 015-297-8666 re ikgantšha ka theko tša rena.
One Nation FM on 88.9.
All right, we're back on One Nation FM. The time is just 90 minutes before 6 o'clock in the evening. Okay. So, good evening. Yeah, so before we talk to a guest, I said we must iron out the whole John Esthuizen issue. And we must talk about what the real issues are. We must not dwell on what other people have been talking about because fear to tackle the real issues. We need to rehash this in order for many of you out there to understand what our problem is. it will be double standard of us black people to attack another person to say, you don't have this qualification, therefore you shouldn't be in parliament. That's not what we're saying. And we're not even judging John S. Hason's abilities as a chief whip. We've got no problem with that. Our problem is on the double standards of the DA as a political party itself. That they've made themselves academic connoisseurs for years, that they even end up attacking individuals, not based on their capabilities, but because those people don't have degrees. But when the table stands, and now we're discussing one of their own, all of a sudden, that should not be the issue. The issue should be whether or not he's capable if he doesn't have a matric. But you know what? Let me welcome my guest on the line. We spoke to him last week and he's joining us again. He's becoming our friend. I hope he agrees to be a friend. See, Baba Lomtonga. Good evening.
Yes,
and welcome to the show.
Good evening, Isaac, and thank you very much for having me once again.
All right. I told you, we need to discuss this without fear or no favor. So what is upsetting people, both black and white, on the whole Esther Hazen issue?
Well, I think firstly, for black people, what is upsetting them is the fact that for a black person, in order to be able to hold such a position, in public, they must have a qualification. But when the tables turn and it's a white man who's on the firing spot, people argue that it is not necessary to have the qualification as long as you have the skill. Do you understand? And these are the things that, as the black community, we've been saying that a lot of black people are skilled, but because they lack the qualification, they never really got, such positions in the past. But when it's a white man, all of a sudden, qualification is secondary to the skill itself. And now the problem is that, that if only the DA could show us other black people in their own organization that they can say this person is black without a degree but is still able to hold a position, that is equivalent to a chief whip, then we can perhaps argue that, yes, in terms of the policies of the party itself, they don't necessarily require one to have a qualification. But until we see any other black person who doesn't have that qualification on a similar stand as John Steenhuisen, then we can accept that argument. But until then, we believe that it's an issue of privilege, where if you're a white person, you don't need to have a qualification, because already your privilege itself is a qualification. You are able to get positions like parliament. But if you're a black person, you need to work twice as hard as any other white person, more than any other white person for that matter, in order to be able to get that qualification. So we have an issue of double standards in society as a whole, and particularly in the Democratic Alliance.
And I mean, this is an issue because if you think about when they used to ridicule Julius Malema with his woodwork, we didn't get this whole woodwork nonsense from the ANC or anywhere. We got it from the DA because they were saying because of that he can't be a politician or work at a high level in terms of politics.
Yeah, that's true. I think one of the things that we need to understand, is that's how far privilege can go in society. That's how far white privilege can go in society. You'd find that there are so many other white people, holding positions, be it CEOs, be it any other, high-profile positions in society that they might be holding, regardless of the fact they do not have a degree, because their privilege, speaks for them. Because if you have a white skin, then already the assumption is that you are capable. So we don't need to check where you studied, what you've done before. But your skin itself qualifies you as someone who has the necessary skill to do the work. But if you're a black person, then at least one thing we need to see for us to be able to trust you is a qualification. It's double standard, as I said, and it's an issue of privilege. White privilege goes a long way in our society. And this is why white people are upset, because now we're starting to expose, how far their privilege has gone in our society.
And I mean, you see this because surprisingly many newspapers didn't have this story as their front cover.
That's for me, it doesn't come as a shock that many newspapers don't have it as their front cover, because we understand that.
Sibs, can you just get closer to the mics?
Okay.
Yes. Thanks.
So